we're getting better. So yeah, from day one to day two was a good practice, and I like the way the guys are moving. So far overall good day.
Kalani, is it way too early to know, I mean, for our perspective, what kind of defensive alignment you're going to use, or will it be combinations?
Probably. I mean, I think that right now we're really stressing fundamentals and technique, and probably keep it simple so we can play fast, and then we'll start to load it up as we start to go along in spring ball. But it's also with the pads off. You know, we will get the pads on Saturday and be able to see some guys be a little bit more physical and see who can really stand out in that aspect. But for now, I mean, what we can see and what we evaluate in all the spring balls that I've been through, this has been really good for us.
And is this the time, because Coach Anderson was talking to us about position changes, this is the time where you'll start thinking about those kind of things, determining that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, the goal is to get the best 11 on the field. And so some guys are going to be asked to move positions, and all these guys are all about the team. So I don't see any problems with them, especially if they can get on the field. So it's been looking really promising right now, and I really like the group.
You said earlier that it's been really hard to evaluate guys without the pads on. Can you go a little bit more in detail on that?
Well, it's just a physical game, you know. Like, it's hard to see guys finish and play and make plays with tackling right now. In the passing game, you're seeing a lot of good things from the defensive backfield and with the safeties in the corners, and you know, some of the linebackers we were able to create some turnovers. But for the most part, in the trenches is where I'm more concerned with being able to see those guys with the O linemen being able to handle the physical part of the game. That's what it is. But for body position and the way that we're working the fundamentals without the shoulder pads, it's been really good. So I think it'll carry over. There's a lot of that will carry over, but you know, there's some parts about you just can't simulate it unless you have the shoulder pads on.
Larry and Joshua, obviously one of the few remaining starters off the last team. Have they taken on sort of a leadership role this year so far for the early part of spring ball? What have you seen out of them so far?
Yeah, of course. We have actually there's a lot of guys that are taking the leadership role. You know, it's about Coach Anderson stressed this to the guys about being good leaders, but also being able to be humble enough to be led. And so we have a lot of guys that are speaking their mind, whether they're even freshmen, sophomore, doesn't really matter. We want guys that truth is truth, no matter who it comes from. And so the guys are all about the team, and you know, from what I'm seeing, the camaraderie and the way the guys are working well together, it's starting to show on the field, and it's been going that way through winter conditioning. So I expect that to get even better as we go throughout the deal. The goal is to win games, and whatever it takes for our guys to do that, that's what they've bought into it. And so Coach Anderson's about winning the games, whether it's special teams, offensive, defense. We're all about the team first, and one individual is more important for the team if they're involved with the group. And so yeah, it's hard to single out the guys, but overall they've all been the same as far as excitement and passion for the game, and I love the way these guys work. I like the speed that's out there, and you know, it'll translate in the field, but there's a lot of excitement and energy, and we got to make sure that we sustain that throughout.
Speaking about that speed, a few of the players have talked about how the energy level has been really high during spring practices. How do you think the team is handling the new coaching staff and everything you guys are bringing?
I think they've been great. I mean, Coach Riley and the others have been awesome. They're good men that have been in this building, and they've run the team the right way. They recruited the right way, and you know, it's an honor for Coach Anderson, myself, and the coaches on this coaching staff to take over this group. But it's not like I'm some great guru that's going to come in and change everything. These are good young men that like to work hard. They're the example of what this community is all about. And, we're going to put the toughness and the excitement and passion on the field and see how it works. You know, but overall, this is a good group, and they're good young men, and they bought into everything that we've talked about, and that's the excitement level. It's a lot of credit to them and to Coach Anderson that he understands how to get these guys motivated, but the players have bought in, and that's a credit to them, those guys, the leadership on this group. Even with you know, we only named a couple guys that had experience last year as starters, but that's a good young group, and they're a bunch of good leaders on this group, even though they don't get the recognition.